Let me say something that might make you uncomfortable. You're not burned out. Burnout implies you tried. It implies effort. It implies resistance. What you're feeling is different. You didn't crash. You faded. Quietly. Slowly. Without anyone noticing. You still wake up. Still go to work. Still reply to messages. Still function. But something important is missing. Urgency. Hunger. Fire. And the scary part? You didn't lose it overnight. You gave it up, little by little. Think back. There was a time when you cared deeply. About your future. About your potential. About becoming someone you respected. You had opinions. Dreams. Edges. You felt things strongly. Now, you don't feel much at all. Not sad enough to change. Not angry enough to fight. Not hopeful enough to try. Just neutral. And neutrality feels safe. But it's deadly. Here's what nobody tells you. You can abandon yourself without making a single dramatic decision. No big failure. No breakdown. No rock bottom. Just small compromises. You stay silent when something matters. You choose comfort over truth. You let days blur together. And one day, you look up and realize you don't recognize yourself anymore. You didn't become weak. You became tired of caring. Because caring requires risk. And risk requires energy. And energy requires belief. Belief that effort will mean something. Somewhere along the way, that belief cracked. So you adapted. You lowered expectations. You stopped wanting too much. You told yourself, this is just how life is. That sentence is dangerous. Let's talk about your routine. You wake up already drained. Not because your body is exhausted, but because your mind has nothing to look forward to. You go through motions, tasks, responsibilities. You scroll, you consume, you distract. Not because you enjoy it, but because silence feels too loud. Because in silence, you hear the question you keep avoiding. Is this really my life? You're not lazy. Lazy people don't feel this emptiness. They don't feel this quiet guilt. What you feel is self-betrayal fatigue. You've broken so many promises to yourself that you stopped making them. You stopped trusting your own words. So now you avoid thinking too deeply, because thinking reminds you of who you said you'd be. Here's the part that hurts the most. Nobody forced this version of you. No villain, no conspiracy, no single moment. Just you, choosing the path of least resistance over and over again. And each time, it cost you a little bit of self-respect. Not enough to notice, not enough to panic, just enough to dull you. You tell yourself, I'll care again later. But later never comes, because caring requires friction, and your life has been optimized to remove it. Comfortable job, predictable routine, easy dopamine, low expectations. Your environment doesn't demand greatness from you, so your nervous system adapts to mediocrity. Here's a hard truth. You don't feel alive because nothing in your life requires you to be. There's no pressure, no stakes, no consequence. If you waste a day, nothing happens. If you quit, nothing collapses. So your brain says, why bother? And slowly, you become someone who survives, but doesn't strive. You still remember flashes, though. Moments when you feel irritated for no reason. Moments when someone younger inspires you and annoys you at the same time. That's not jealousy. That's grief. Grief for the version of you that didn't give up yet. Let me be clear about something. You don't need rest. You've been resting from your potential for years. What you need is meaningful discomfort. The kind that reminds you you're still capable of effort, still capable of discipline, still capable of choosing hard over easy. Right now, your life is emotionally flat because you've removed tension from it. No tension means no growth. No growth means no pride. No pride means numbness. This isn't depression, it's disengagement. The version of you that you respect, they don't wait to feel like it. They don't negotiate with comfort. They don't ask permission from mood. They act while uncomfortable. They move while unsure. They choose standards over feelings, not because they're special, but because they decided not to abandon themselves anymore. Here's the shift. Stop asking, what do I want right now? Start asking, what would make me respect myself tonight? Even if it's small, especially if it's uncomfortable. You don't need a life overhaul. You need one daily act of self-loyalty. One thing you do because you said you would. No reward, no audience, no emotion attached. Just follow through. That's how numbness breaks, because numbness isn't healed by inspiration. It's healed by evidence. Evidence that you still keep your word. Evidence that you still choose effort. Evidence that you're not done yet. Let me warn you of something real. If you keep living on emotional autopilot, years will pass quietly. And one day, you won't feel numb anymore. You'll feel regret. Sharp, clear, unavoidable. And regret is heavier than discipline ever was. This isn't a motivational speech. It's a checkpoint. A moment to ask yourself, how long am I going to keep disappearing from my own life? Because nobody is coming to wake you up. And the scariest thing isn't failure. It's realizing you stopped trying, and nobody noticed. Not even you.